I want you to know some of the things that I want you to look at on that van before you sign any papers. Hi, welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about a question that I get asked a lot, whether it's in an email or out here in the desert in person or at my shop. A lot of people want my opinion on what kind of van that I think they should buy. And I've made a couple of videos on the differences between a Ford Transit and a Ram ProMaster. I'll link them above and I'll link them in the description. And those videos kind of talk about the pros and cons of each one. It does not talk about the mechanics and that kind of thing, mostly just on a build aspect of those two vans. But in today's video, I want to talk to you guys about some things that you may not think about when you are looking to buy a van. All right, so two of the most obvious key factors is going to be your budget and your availability. But if you set them aside, look at what you're going to do with your van. Are you living full-time? Are you living part-time? Are you going to be working remotely out of your van? Do you have a pet? Do you have a partner? Do you want to stand up? Those are some of the things that are going to steer you in the direction that you need to be heading. If you're going to live full-time in your van and your budget can handle it, I highly suggest starting out with a van that you can stand up in. So many people out there, full-time cargo van, I see them later down the road at some point getting a taller van, just like Chrome recently has. I know several people out here, if they could change anything about their build, it would be the ability to stand up. Some of the things that I want to talk to you today about is things to look at when buying and searching for that perfect van, because finding a van that you can stand up in or finding a van that you can afford, those are things that you're going to figure those out. But when you go to a dealer or you go to someone's place looking at their van, I want you to know some of the things that I want you to look at on that van before you sign any papers. So one of the things that you want to do is run a Carfax on it. It's going to tell you what that odometer reading should say, if it's ever been wrecked, if it's a clean title. It may be a wrecked title that an insurance company wrote off. Check out that title, check out the odometer reading. How many owners has it had? Has it been through 7 owners? Has it been one owner and you're actually heading to talk to that one owner about it? So running a Carfax on it is quick and easy and going to give you a few answers before you even head to look at that van. Okay, so once you decide that you want to go and look at that van, this is the things that I want you to look at. Because a lot of people don't realize that, like, I've worked on several vans, I'm going to say even 5, 6, 7, 8, that the roof has damage. And I'm talking about gouges, nothing that's penetrated the steel, but so many people will try and go through like a drive-through or something. And I feel like there's damage on a lot of these vans on the roof. So check that out. While you're up there, the Transit has the round rubber seals. Make sure they're not dry rotted and make sure they're not leaking. That's on the roof. On the ground, you want to check, obviously you want to check the tires. But look underneath the van in multiple areas and you're looking for rust. If you get a van from the East Coast or even the Midwest, we use chemicals on our roads, rock salt on our roads. You're looking for a significant amount of rust. You're going to have your normal wear and tear. I'm talking about structural damage. I have seen vans out there that like things are rusting through to the point where you couldn't even put running boards on them. So you're checking for rust while you're under the van and you're looking for rust. I like to look for anything that's brand new. Like if you crawl underneath a van and part of the muffler is new, ask them what happened. If they didn't say, oh, we just had a new muffler put on it, but you notice some new parts underneath there. I like knowing that when you pop the hood open, if it's all dirty and there's one clean, something, ask what that is. What did you just have to replace on this van? Because some people don't want to talk about, oh, we just had a problem with this and had to have XYZ replaced. Some people will be 100% transparent and tell you everything that just got done. So you're looking underneath the van for rust. You're looking on top of the roof for gouges. If you ran a Carfax and it says it's been wrecked before, walk around the van. See if you see any like, oh, that paint's not identical. You can see, was it, if that's where it was wrecked, and was it repaired properly? It's very common on vans. These back doors, they will adjust and not close real good. If the van's been wrecked, they might not close correctly 100%, and that could be an issue. My door back here, I can see a small amount of light at the bottom. It's a weather gasket problem. And that can be notorious on vans. The Ford Transit has a huge problem with the bottom part of their weather stripping wearing away. It is notorious on multiple vans that I've seen that weather stripping around that back door has to be replaced. That's not an inexpensive project. It's a little bit of money to have that replaced. If those doors aren't closing properly, do they lock? Do they unlock? You want to check them. On the sliding door, when you close the sliding door, does it close all the way, or is there a little gap? When you close that door, can you lock it and unlock it? Will that mechanism work? Driver, passenger doors, make sure that they lock. Make sure that the windows go up and down. In the front of the van, where you've got your headliner material, make sure that doesn't have any water damage. If your windshield leaks, or if your lights on the top of the Ram ProMaster are leaking, you're going to know it by the water damage on that headliner. So those are things that you can look at right just on your quick walkthrough the first time looking at your van. The other thing you want to look for is, does the heat or the AC work? How many times have you bought or heard of someone that bought a van and they started it up and the air conditioner comes on, but the blower doesn't work? Do the blowers work? All of them. Can you change it from defrost to the blower because there's like an actuator or something in there, and sometimes those go out. So you want to check that before you sign any papers. The heater, does the heater work? If you're looking at a cargo van, some of the cargo vans in the very back of the van on the sides, they will have a secondary unit in the back. Some of those can be removed. Some of them actually, part of it's inside the van, part of it's outside of the van. If you don't have any pets riding in the back of your van, you may wish to get them out of there because they're kind of hard to build around. They're in the back corners. Sometimes it's just on the driver's side. Sometimes it will be on both sides. So if you want to take those out of there, you need to make sure that the gas lines, the refrigerant lines aren't on the underside of the van, which they commonly are. So, but if you've got a pet and your pet travels with you, you can turn the back blowers on, and it would be a good thing because you can heat back here, you can cool off back here. In my van, it's the extra long. If I turn my AC or heat on in the front, if I didn't have any blowers back here, it's not going to be near comfortable enough for an animal to ride for 8 hours. So sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes it's a bad thing, but check it out. So those are just some of the basics on buying a new van. All right, guys, say you're going to go look at a van that's already been built out and you're not 100% sure what you're looking for. Don't hesitate to hire an RV inspector to go with you to look at this van. You may not know what you're looking for, but they might. You can also take it to a mechanic and have a mechanic look over the vehicle. There is going to be a fee for both of those, but it would be better to pay that fee than hindsight have problems that you didn't notice when you were looking at the van. Some of the most important things that I would look at when I go to look at a van that has already been built out is a look at the electrical system and a look at the plumbing system. Talk to the builder about the build and have them explain it to you how everything works. Under the water compartment, make sure that the floor around the water tank looks good, wherever the water pump is. Make sure you don't see any damage from a leaking connection that maybe went on for a while before it was noticed. You will feel, soft spots, or you'll notice some water damage. Check underneath the sink. Make sure the floor looks good under the sink, that there wasn't some water damage that went unnoticed for a while. Open up the sliding door. If they've got a galley in front of their door, just like I do, open up the door, check the back wall of that galley. Every now and then you don't close your door good enough, water comes in there, it's going to hit that galley, run down the wall, you're going to have some damage. Cabinets and the woodworking, that you're going to pick that up right away. But talk to the owner, have them talk to you about the kind of insulation that they used and what they built out the van for. You're gonna get a feel in that conversation if the DIY builder, you feel like they knew what they were doing. All right, guys, I hope this was helpful for you guys. I know I get asked these questions a lot, so just forwarding it to you guys. Take care. We'll see you guys on the next video.